was gunned down moments after an Easter Sunday church service in South Dallas. Police say the confrontation started with an argument between two men.
Easter Sunday, which meant that a lot of people were home, and most of them witnessing when that man was running down 56th Street moments before being gunned down.
He was running on foot. He was running.
All evidence now cleared out, but the images still vivid in the minds of neighbors.
Me and my family, we was in the house playing games.
Blocked off with caution tape after multiple shots were fired.
And all of a sudden we heard two shots. And then next thing you know, you hear pow, 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 pow.
I seen that the guy was laying, on the ground and, people were yelling.
Police say Joshua Xavier Andrews ran from the scene but later turned himself in and confessed to shooting Denzel Branch. He's now charged with murder.
The only thing I know is that it started at the church down the street down there, and we seen him running this way.
According to the arrest affidavit, witnesses told police both men had attended Easter services and got into an argument outside of New Generation Church. Branch allegedly punched Andrews in the face, which led the suspect to pull out his gun. Andrews later telling police the argument stemmed from a love triangle after the victim's now ex-wife had an affair with Andrews. Witnesses claim both men had close ties to the church, including the victim allegedly serving as a youth minister.
YouTube, what's going on? Trey back again, hit y'all another video. Hope y'all having a very great day. Hope y'all having a very great week. My day is going absolutely marvelous. Big shout out to all the channel members and subscribers to the Trey King Show family, and much love to each and every last one of you all. And you all, we have a story out of Texas by way of Dallas, and big shout out to everybody in the great state of Texas. Everybody inside the great city of Dallas. Now, before I start this story, I want to send a special thank you out to my channel members and also to my subscribers for sending me this story. And also, keep these stories coming. Now, also, before I start the story, I want to send a special condolence out to the family and friends of the victim, yes, Pastor Denzel Branch, because it's very sad and tragic what happened to this young man. Now, you would think if you go to church, out of all places, you would be protected there. Like, church would be one of the most safest spots that you can go to. But it wasn't that case in this church inside of Dallas, Texas. Now, the church I'm talking about is named New Generation Church. And from what I heard, it happened to be a Kojic church. And I know some of you all looking around right now talking about Trey. For those who don't know, what is Kojic? Kojic means Church of God in Christ, which I happen to belong to and also was raised in the Church of God in Christ. So once again, big shout out to all the members of a Church of God in Christ, no matter where you come from, what state you are in. Now, this story right here really shows you why it's best to let things go. If a person don't want you, the best thing that you can do is let they ass go. Yes, I know it's a church video, but guess what though? You already know how I feel about these cheaters and also about these helpers out here doing whatever the hell they want to do. So you all must forgive me because sometimes I go in, especially when I need to go in. Now, all of this took place, yes, this past Easter Sunday. Now, you all already know that most people do not go to church unless it's Easter Sunday or it's the pastor and wife anniversary, because church is not what church used to be, especially the Church of God in Christ also, because a lot of things have changed and they are losing their way because they don't want to call out certain sins that's going on in this world. And we already know what we're talking about. You all feel me? Now, back to the story. Now, all of this took place this past Easter Sunday right after church service around 3:20 some p.m. And you already know, yes, when black folks go to church, you might want to get out of church till about 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, especially on Easter Sunday. Now, you had the victim, 31-year-old Denzel Branch, and also the suspect, yes, 30-year-old Joshua Andrews. Now, Joshua Andrews, from what I heard, and if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comment section and also the emails if you have more information that you can divulge about this matter. Now, the story is being said is that Joshua Andrews was having an affair, yes, with Pastor Denzel Branch's wife. I know a lot of you are looking around right now in bewilderment, saying to yourself, say that again, Trey, did I hear you correctly? Yes, Pastor Denzel Branch's wife, ex-wife that is, Brianna Hungry Cookie Branch, was having an affair with the piano player, the organist, Joshua Andrews. Now, from what I heard, Joshua Andrews was adopted by the pastor of New Generation Church. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Please let me know in the comment section, because I'm wondering this right here. If word got out in the church, and I'm sure more than just a few people knew about this affair going on, especially when the fact that Joshua Andrews and also Brianna Branch were seen in church together this past Sunday, dressed alike in all white. And no, that's not a reason why I'm wearing all white, but they were dressed alike. And they also say that Pastor Denzel Branch came in there in his Sunday best. Yes, a pink suit. Now, you already know I like the color pink, and I'm not trying to be funny or anything like that. But anyway, they say Pastor Denzel Branch was looking clean, and Joshua Andrews and Breonna Branch, which happened to be Pastor Denzel Branch ex-wife, were dressed just alike. And you already know that's going to make a lot of people mad. Now, I know you all are wondering, well, Trey, give us a deeper backdrop. They say this affair was going on for a long time. Now, they stated that this affair was going on because Joshua Andrews admitted himself to the police officer that he was having an affair with Pastor Denzel Branch's wife, Breonna Branch, from May last year all the way up until they had a divorce, yes, in November of last year. Now, you already know, if they was messing around that long, guess what? Maybe they were messing around a lot more longer than that. And it all came to a head just a few days ago when Pastor Denzel Branch confronted Joshua Andrews and Breonna Branch after seeing them taking pictures and floating around like it was all good. And you have to understand, you have people that would do you like that. See, the main thing that Pastor Denzel Branch should have did was, number one, hit me up. I would have gave him some good guidance. Is number one, is just let that heifer go. Because you cannot make nobody be with you if they do not want to be with you. So you got to understand that. Now, the main thing you got to do is put yourself first, because you cannot control what another grown person do. You get what I'm saying? If your husband want to give away that diggling, guess what they're going to do? They're going to go out there and give it away. If your wife want to give away that cookie, guess what she going to do? She going to give it away. So people are with you by choice. So the best thing Pastor Denzel Branch should have done was, number one, got that heifer out of his system. Don't even be around those folks. Because guess what? Every time you look over there, because they were going to the same church, of course, every time you look over there, you see them together, guess what? It's going to remind you of betrayal. It's going to remind you of you and her. And it's also going to cut you deeper every time you see them, because sometimes the pain don't go away. Now, look here. The way you may deal with a breakup or somebody having an affair on you, cheating on you or whatnot, may not be the same way somebody else will deal with that situation. You get that? But the main thing you got to do is put yourself first, because clearly Breonna Branch did not care about Pastor Denzel Branch, because if she did, number one, she would have respected her marital vows and she would have never cheated on this man. Now, they say that Pastor Denzel Branch confronted them, and after Pastor Denzel Branch asked Joshua Andrews, are you going to do this right here in front of me? Basically, like, take the pictures and whatnot. That's when Joshua Andrews responded back to Pastor Denzel Branch and told him, yeah, we're going to do it right here. So as Joshua Andrews was sitting inside of his vehicle, that's when Pastor Denzel Branch confronted Joshua Andrews inside of his vehicle and ultimately hit him a few times upside his head. And they say that when Joshua Andrews was struck, that's when he reached and grabbed his weapon. Now, look here. Now, I'm not taking up for the pastor in no kind of way of putting his hands on this man, but at the same time, I understand. But you got to understand this also. You cannot go around putting your hands on people while they cheat with your wife or your husband or anything like that. So that was his fatal mistake right there. That was his main mistake. Number one was putting his hands on this man, because you cannot do that. So the story goes that once Pastor Denzel Branch seen the firearm, that's when he ran toward his vehicle, because they say that Pastor Denzel Branch had his children inside of the vehicle. Now, where the children were sitting, I don't know. And as Pastor Denzel Branch was trying to flee the scene, that's when Joshua Andrews shot at his vehicle a few times, as you all can hear right now.
And all of a sudden, we heard 2 shots.
And that's when Pastor Denzel Branch jumped out of his vehicle and started running down the street. Now, why did he take off running on foot? I do not know. Because I'm thinking like this: if you inside of a vehicle, why not just floor it and get the hell up out of there? You get me? But you have to remember also, they say that Pastor Denzel Branch's children was inside of the vehicle. So maybe that's the reason why he got out. Let me ask you all this right now. Why do you think Pastor Denzel Branch, number one, jumped out of the vehicle if he was already inside the vehicle fleeing or whatnot? And that's when the unthinkable happened, yes. And as Pastor Denzel Branch was running down the street, that's when Joshua Andrews was chasing behind him, shooting at him, and ultimately gunned him down. So as Pastor Denzel Branch fell to the ground, that's when Joshua Andrews stood over him and shot him a few more times, ultimately killing him. And they say that once Joshua Andrews shot Pastor Denzel Branch, he fled the scene, but later on turned himself in to the police. And he was charged with murder, and also he has a $500,000 bond. And I hope they leave his ass in jail, because it's very sad and tragic, number one, that you would cheat with this man's wife, knowing that you're doing wrong, and the fact that the church still allowed you to be a piano player, or organist, or whatnot. So you all answer this for me also. Why do you think New Generation Church did not make Joshua Andrews sit his ass down and didn't hold no position inside of the church? Because clearly this man wasn't fit to hold any position in no church. But anyway, we'll break the rest down, so I'll read a snippet from this story. I'm going to read a quick snippet from this story, and I am going to give my opinion, all of it. Surely, as we go. Texas youth pastor shot dead at church by cheating wife, ex-lover. A damn shame. Now, you would think, once again, like I told you in the beginning of the story, that you would be safe at church, but not this day and age. Anyway, a man is dead and another man is behind bars after an argument stemmed from a love triangle turned violent near a Dallas church on Easter Sunday. Out of all days, on Easter. That's a damn shame right there. And that's why I tell you all, you got to keep your head on the swivel. You got to watch your backs at all times. But at the same time, don't ever sit up here and put somebody else before you. You feel what I'm saying? Now, Pastor Denzel Branch had everything to live for and nothing to lose but his life. But at the same time, you got to remember this also. If your ex-wife was cheating on you and that led up to you all splitting up, having a divorce or whatnot, causing you all kind of trauma and mental pain, because they also say that since this divorce took place, that Pastor Denzel Branch was experiencing a lot of mental health issues or whatnot. So we cannot sit up here and really say what we will do. And also adding to the story, according to Dallas Police Department, 30-year-old Joshua Andrews is charged with murder in the shooting death of 31-year-old Pastor Denzel Branch. A damn shame. I don't know what's wrong with people this day and age. Like, number one, you saw up here was brave enough to cheat with the man's ex-wife or whatnot, which led to their divorce. But as soon as he put his hands on you, and once again, I'm not making no excuse of Pastor Denzel Branch assaulting Joshua Andrews inside of his vehicle or whatnot. But at the same time, you would think that you would have got out of the vehicle and fought. I'm sure that was Pastor Denzel Branch wanted. But at the same time, what you may want may not be what somebody else wants. Because once again, you cannot put your hands on grown folks. Because I know somebody's going to be in the comment section saying, Trey, you can't tell people how to fight and how to act. No, I'm not. All I'm telling you to do right here is think clearly. And most of all, weigh all your options and ask yourself, is it worth it? Because you just never know what the next person going to do. And also added to the story, the witness stated they were in the pastor's office when he heard the pastor receiving a phone call. Now, why in the hell didn't the pastor get up and go handle this situation himself? I do not know. And pastor, I'm sure you knew about this affair that was going on with your supposedly, allegedly adopted son. And the reason why I'm saying supposedly and allegedly, because I'm not really sure yet if Joshua Andrews, the suspect, was the pastor's adopted son or whatnot. That's why I had to say that like that. But sir, if you knew all this was going on, why did you not go handle this situation yourself? And also, why in the hell did you let your adopted son allegedly continue to be a damn organist, continue to hold a position in the church? I don't understand that. And if I was Pastor Denzel Branch, guess what? I would have left that damn church and went somewhere else. Because guess what? Clearly, you all are turning a blind eye to what Joshua Andrews done. Now, I know it's hard as hell to find a good organ player. You feel me? I know it's hard to find a good piano player. But guess what, though? You have to put all that to the side and do the right thing, like Spike Lee said. And adding to the story, the pastor allegedly told the caller not to do something and gestured to the witness to go outside and handle the situation. But pastor, why didn't you get off your hiney, your behind, and go out there and handle it yourself? Because you're the pastor, you're the leader of this flock or whatnot, and maybe things would have been different. Maybe Joshua Andrews, which supposedly supposed to be your adopted son or whatnot, maybe that man would have listened to you. You feel me? Maybe your presence would have made him put that gun down. But you sent somebody else out there to do what you should have done? That's a damn shame right there. And also added to the story, investigators said Branch and Andrews got into a verbal dispute that eventually became physical. Witnesses told police that Branch allegedly punched Andrews in the face, which he shouldn't have done. Because like I said, that was his fatal mistake. Because guess what? That's your ex-wife that cheated on you or whatnot with this man. But at the same time, you should have been handling that situation. But you don't wait till you at church to try to confront this man in front of your ex-wife or whatnot. And the best thing Pastor Denzel Branch should have done was act like he did not even see their ass, because you are giving them exactly what they want. The goal is to hurt you, because remember what I said. They was all smiling, giggling, dressed alike and everything. Because guess what? They are trying to rub it in your damn face. So what I would have done, me being who I am, I would have went and got the baddest chick I could find in Dallas or anywhere else. You feel me? And I would have brought my ass right in church with her. And guess what? Would have been all over her like flies on you know what. Anyway, let's go and close up before I get in trouble. And now here's where the story takes a dark turn at. And it's very sad and tragic how this all played out. They say, as Branch got in a car and tried to drive away, Andrews allegedly followed and shot him. Andrews confessed to the police that he followed Branch and continued to shoot, stopping when he saw Branch finally laying on the ground, as you all heard the witnesses say also. And that's a damn shame, sir. And I know some of y'all are saying, well, Trey, that might be self-defense. He might have a good case for self-defense. But it's not self-defense, number one, because the man was fleeing. Look here. It's not self-defense once you're fleeing because you're not the aggressor no more. Andrews became the aggressor when he started chasing Pastor Denzel Branch up the street, shooting at him. So clearly, he's going to get that murder charge because that's not self-defense. Now, when Pastor Denzel Branch struck him while he was sitting in his vehicle, if Joshua Andrews would have pulled his firearm and shot him then, he would have had a case for self-defense. But you cannot sit up here, shoot at the car, the man get out the car, runs up the street, you running behind him, shooting at him, gunning him down or whatnot, and finally standing over him and finishing him. That's not self-defense. Also, the story says, Andrews later told police that the argument stemmed from a love triangle with him cheating with the pastor's ex-wife. A damn shame. Now, hungry cookie Breonna Branch, don't you see what infidelity leads to? And also, girl, why do you not just leave your husband and go be with Joshua Andrews and whatnot? Maybe things would have been different. That's why I say it's best to do things in the right way. And also in closing, they say, according to the arrest affidavit, Andrews stated that he had been involved in an intimate relationship since May 2023 with Branch's ex-wife, whose name is Breonna, who divorced Branch around November later that year. So can you all see why the pastor was hurt? And can't you all see how they were trying to antagonize this man by coming in there acting like they ain't do nothing wrong? And guess what? If you in a setting like your church or anything like that, and you don't went through this experience with a spouse cheating on you, guess what? You're going to have pain. You're going to have all kinds of bitterness and whatnot. But at the same time, like I told y'all, the best thing to do is when a relationship is over, get away from the person. Now, I know you all are saying, well, Trey, that was his church, and that was the other guy's church also. But look here. Look how things play out when you don't separate. But at the same time, look here. When a person show you who they are, you got to believe them. But also remember this. You cannot make nobody be with you. And also, you must understand this also. The best thing to do in a situation like this, when a person show you their ass, what we call it, is separate from that person. And I know some of y'all are saying, well, Trey, they go to the same church. What was Pastor Denzel Branch supposed to do? Find a new church? It's best to find a new church and let that go instead of being reminded of the pain every time you go to church and see this person. And more than anything, I want to leave you all with this right here. When a person don't want you, ain't nothing you can do to make them want you. But at the same time, you have to put yourself first. You have to put your children first. You have to put your family first. Because what good is you going to be to the world or to them if you're locked up or even dead, as in the case of this story right here. But anyway, it's very sad and tragic what happened to this man. But at the same time, you got to learn to let go. You feel me? Now, you all let me know what you think about this story in the comment. Why do you think Pastor Denzel Branch got out of the vehicle and started running when he was already inside the vehicle, fleeing the scene? To me, he would have had a better chance of staying in the vehicle and fleeing, unless his children was in the back seat or in the front seat or whatnot, and he didn't want to take a chance of his children getting shot and killed. Maybe that was the reason why he jumped out. Anyway, you all let me know what you think about this story. And as more info come out about it, I will keep you all updated. But anyway, if you like the video, push that like button. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel, become a channel member. Also, share the story with your family and friends. Till next time, you all stay blessed, have a great day, and live and let live. If a person don't want you, the hell with them. Go find somebody else that do. Anyway, I will see y'all soon on the next Trey King Show. And guess what? I'm out.